Starters, first for the visitors, the Bells of Bellarmine College. And a 5'11" senior from Louisville, Kentucky, number 4, Stephanie Tracy. The Bells are coached by Charlie Just, assisted by Ben Conlon, Leonard Meyer, and Danny Harnett. And now for IPFW.
Here on Channel 23, featuring IPFW, the Mastodons
a 5'7" junior from
Bellarmine.
Logansport, Indiana, number 14, Nancy Townsend.
Coached by Terry Rosinski, 2-4 in the GLVC,
a 5'7" freshman
overall,
from Grable, Indiana, number 23, Amy Newhouser.
And 11-4 overall. I'm Bob Kramer, and with me in the
a 6'
broadcast
sophomore
booth
from
Dan
Crothersville,
Gebhardt,
Indiana, number 42,
Mike
Sarah
Neely is, of course, on
Turner.
assignment. Dan, this is going to be proved to be a very
A
exciting
5'9"
contest.
freshman
Bellarmine
from Fort
comes
Wayne,
into the
Indiana,
contest,
number
second in
24,
the GLVC.
Lisa Miller.
And IPFW looking to change their
And a 5'10"
their
junior
failing
from
ways
Kokomo,
there.
Indiana,
Well, Bobby, right.
number 22, Tina Merrill.
Both teams are playing very
IPFW
well.
is coached by Terry Rosinski and assisted by Bill Carter.
IPFW is down in the ratings right now. Coming into this week, they were
The
rated
officials
for
for tonight's first game are
Bellarmine,
John
but, they haven't
Davenport
been able to win
and
on the road.
Jerry
They're a very young
Fox.
ball club, and we look for
A reminder, the
some good things
restrooms
tonight.
are located
They have
on the
one
northeast end of the
detriment, and
court
that is their
and
third leading
concessions
scorer,
at
top
the
rebounder,
southeast
Robin
corner.
Scott, has been suspended for
Rosters of
tonight's game
tonight's
due to
game and 88-89
undisclosed disciplinary
media
reasons,
guides
so
are
they're going to have to
located
make up
at
for
the
that.
concession stand.
Well, we'll quickly go over the starting lineup here as we're
Bellarmine
just
College
about ready to
comes in
start
at
the
11-4
contest here in this
overall,
first of two
6-1 in the
games that I had mentioned
GLVC,
earlier.
while IPFW
For
is
the
9-6
IPFW Lady
overall,
Dons, it'll be
2-4
number
in the
14,
conference.
Nancy Townsend, number 22, Tina Merrill, number 23, Amy Newhouser, and the freshman, number 24, Lisa Miller. And tipping off will be IPFW ball. And of course, number 42, Sarah Turner. We'll get to Bellarmine's lineup in just a second. Newhouser with the ball. Nice entry pass. And
Basket
Turner
for
with an
Sarah
easy
Turner.
I think that's going to be a key, Bobby. I think Sarah Turner's really going to have to play well inside tonight to compensate. Bellarmine has the 6th leading scorer in the conference and the number 1 rebounder, and Stephanie Tracy, number 4. So that should be a fairly good matchup inside.
Turner has been playing very outstanding ball as of late. We'll get to Bellarmine's lineup just as soon as we can, kicking it out to Stephanie Tracy. Outside shot just off the mark there, and the rebound to Lisa Miller on the fast break. Out to Townsend. And there's a foul. They're going to call number 32, Cheryl Neltner, on the foul.
On
Bellarmine's
Bellarmine
lineup
College.
real quick here. Stephanie Tracy, number 4.
Gina
Number 5,
Cornett,
Claudia
her
Smith.
first, the team's
15,
first.
Donna Kalin. Number 22, Shannon Miles. And number 32, Cheryl Neltner, who just picked up her first foul. 18:54 just underway here at the IPFW Athletic Center. Merrill with the ball, but she'll be called for the travel.
Violation, turns it over to the Bells.
Turnover to the Bellarmine Bells.
So far, IPFW has done a good job, Bobby. They've played good defense at the other end of the court. They move the ball well here. It's important that they get into their game early.
Well, I think they'll have to use Turner in order to establish their middle game to free their outside shooting, led by Townsend and Merrill. Right now with the ball, Rita Johnson. The drive, there'll be no call. Rebound. Tina Merrill, who's on the fast break. She's got the numbers, 3-on-1. Excellent pass by Newhouser, and Merrill will get the
Basket
2.
for Tina Merrill, assist from Amy Newhouser.
4-0, IPFW taking a quick lead over the Bellarmine Bells. Outside to Neltner. the ball thrown away. Stephanie Tracy looking for the inbound pass, just couldn't find the mark. Turnover, IPFW ball. Newhauser pushing the ball up. And that's a turnover. Outside shot, just short. Following own shot is number 24, Missy Hahn. And she was fouled in the process.
Personal foul on IPFW, number 22, Tina Merrill, her first.
Tina Merrill picks up her first foul. 17:35 remaining in the first half.
Well, as I mentioned, IPFW is applying good defensive pressure right now. They have Bellarmine off their game a little bit, but they haven't been able to move it out offensively, so they just need to keep up that good work.
Bellarmine really hasn't taken off a good shot early, have they?
No, they're not a very good shooting team, particularly from the three-point range, so if IPFW can keep them out from the paint, I think it will make a big difference here.
Tracy with the ball, cross-court pass into number 11, who is fouled by Lisa Miller. Stephanie Duddy driving into the
personal
paint, but she is
foul on
fouled.
IPFW, number 24, Lisa Miller, her first,
and
the
I
team's
think
second.
they're going to take it out on the side. Duddy trying to say that she was in the act of shooting, but she passed it off. Bellarmine ball. Inbound pass. Bellarmine working the ball outside on the perimeter, taking the outside shot. That's just what Bellarmine didn't want. They're still being held scoreless right here by the Mastodons. Lisa Miller pumps once, drives, and she gets the
Basket
two.
for Lisa Miller.
Lisa's been a real asset to this team, coming in as a freshman, playing a lot, scoring a lot of points. She's the leading scorer in this team, has just done a tremendous job of coming in as a freshman.
And there's a foul called down inside. Lisa Miller called for the hold, I believe.
That's her second, Bobby. That's 2 fouls in less than 4 minutes here, so she's got to be careful.
She just got tangled up with Gina Cornett of the Bellarmine Bells. And a nice play by Sarah Turner. Seal the ball, Miller with the drive. That's 2 points.
Nancy Townsend did a great job looking off and feeding the ball to Miller, coming in on the right-hand side there.
And IPFW is off to a quick, right off the bat, 8-0 run. Looking to do a number quickly on the Bellarmine Bells, who are 6-1 in this GLVC. IPFW looking for a major upset. Out to Tracy. Tracy with the pass. Just off the hands of Cornett. Another turnover for IPFW. Checking into the ball game for the Bellarmine Bells. Number 21, Rita Johnson, and number 22, Shannon Miles. 16-19 remaining. First half action. First part of a doubleheader you're watching here on Channel 23, your IPFW Sports Connection. Townsend being closely guarded. Still looking for the 5 call. And Johnson coming up with a big turnover. Oh, and that's the walk. Shannon Miles tried to keep her balance, but she took that extra stop to take that shot.
Actually, she did a good job in stopping, but she took the extra step just before releasing the ball.
What's Bellarmine got to do, Dan?
Bellarmine's got to get Stephanie Tracy into the offense here. You haven't called her name very much, even touching the ball, so that's a key.
That's another basket for Tina Merrills. It's 10-0. Bellarmine still on the schneid as it's a timeout. Bellarmine, Charlie Just calls a timeout, wants to regroup the Bells.
He had to do that, Bobby. Falling down 10-0 here early with less than 5 minutes going in the first half. That's exactly what you want. Terry Rosinski's got to feel her team's come out and done exactly what she wanted them to do. Played good defensively, moved the ball around offensively, got the shots inside. Facing the basket. They've got some very good shooters. They can score a lot of points. We've seen them do that. We've seen them over 100 already this year a couple times. In fact, they're scoring at an average of 85 points a game, so they're a very good offensive ball club. Charlie just couldn't afford to let the Bells fall too far behind here. You asked me what they could do. I mentioned I think they need to get Stephanie Tracy into the offense. They just haven't done that. Defensively, they need to tighten up, push IPFW out a little bit further, make them start their offense out a little bit higher.
Well, IPFW, I mean, they're not exactly playing sterling ball, but they are capitalizing on the Bellarmine Bell turnovers, and I think that's been a key to the 10-0 run here at the start of the first half.
Well, and IPFW is 8-1 here at home. They play real well at home. They're a young ball club. They start a lot of young kids, and so playing here at home in front of their own fans, they feel more comfortable. They're not doing very well on the road, and that's been part of the problem. They've lost their 4 conference games on the road, 1-2 at home. Speaking to the Bellarmine athletic director, he's a little bit concerned about Bellarmine. They've been playing fairly well against the conference competition, but not very well outside the conference, so it'll be interesting to see whether they can come back here and play this tough conference game.
Personal foul called on Stephanie Tracy. That's her first foul of the first half. Another costly turnover for the Bells, and Tracy with a big rebound. Bellarmine looking to push it up. Nice drive, but Bellarmine really shooting blanks here to open up this first game. Newhouser from the outside. NBN, nothing but nylon. Stephanie Duddy pushing it up, passes it off. Back to Duddy. Outside on the perimeter. Outside the Johnson. Johnson drives, kicks it back out. Duddy with the drive. And it'll be Newhouser charged with the block.
I think you see after that last timeout by Bellarmine there, Charlie asked his team to move the ball up the court a little quicker, and they've done that. They've got 2 shots now, they just haven't been able to connect. IPFW is still doing a very good job on the defensive boards, boxing out, getting that shot, only allowing Bellarmine to have 1.
Forcing the bad shot will be a key to this game for our IPFW Lady Dons. Substitution in for the Bellarmine Bells. Number 5, Claudia Smith, into the ball game.
Great defensive play there by IPFW. Sarah Turner stepped in front, and Amy Newhouser came over to help on the weak side.
Bellarmine really looking to get back on track here. 14:34 remaining here in this first half, and that'll be a 3-second call. Called on, I believe, Stephanie Tracy. Stephanie Tracy's had a tough first half. Another costly turnover for IPFW, but then again, any turnover is pretty costly when you're down by 12 points. Start a ball game. Turner. Close man-to-man protection by the Bells. Sagging defense, but 22, Shannon Miles came up with the rebound, but as she was struggling for the ball, forced herself to cause the traveling violation. IPFW ball.
Well, IPFW is not stopping after the shot. They're going after the ball. They're forcing the defenders to play hard after they rebound and look for that outlet pass, so they were able to cause a travel there and get the ball back.
Substitution in for Bellarmine, number 12 into the ball game, Michelle Carl, as well as for IPFW Lady Dons, Jennifer Needhammer. Miller started to drive, thought better. Out to Townsend. And to Needhammer. And nice defensive work. But IPFW retains possession. And to Miller. Physical play here. And they're going on the floor, and it'll be a jump ball. The alternating arrow possession indicates Bellarmine. Kind of scrappy play, but anytime you can come up with the ball, I guess Bellarmine's going to be happy with that.
Bobby, that's a trait, though, we've seen with this IPFW Lady Dons. They keep trying to force the ball inside, which is all right, but they need to do it when there's not a bunch of hands down there. And when the defense is back set, they can't bounce past that ball inside. They lose a lot of passes that way.
Kind of rough play, isn't there, Dan?
Well, it's getting a little physical, but that's the way this conference is, so both teams have to expect that. Had to come in expecting that.
Bellarmine with the ball, looking into Tracy. Needhammer. Good defense, but she'll be called for blocking. Thought she had good position on that. She just didn't move her feet well enough in time to stop the charge of Tracy. That's her first foul. IPFW, I believe that's their 5th. Outside, working it around the perimeter. Out to Johnson. And they still can't break the scoring drought, but Tracy throws up a prayer and it's answered.
And that's why she's their leading scorer.
Stephanie Tracy breaks the scoring drought check that. Scoring drought for the Bellarmine Bells as it's 12-2 with 13:12 remaining. IPFW in command. Judy Guess from outside hits the front iron. Not a good shot.
No, she forced that shot. Bellarmine has really turned up the intensity here, both offensively and defensively.
Rita Johnson with the hard shot. Judy Guess with the ball. She'll slow it down. Nice play. Didn't have the numbers. Man-to-man pressure. Townsend with the ball. Out to Judy Guess. Dawn Harbaugh. Closely guarded. A beautiful entry pass, but Jennifer just couldn't find the handle.
It's a tough pass to handle, Bobby, when you're trying to fight off somebody from the back and catch that bounce pass that's coming to a lot of overspin and take the ball to the basket. It's just a very difficult thing to do.
Sarah Turner back in the ball game for Jennifer Needhammer.
That was a good rest. Terry did a smart thing there, taking Sarah out, giving her a 2-minute rest there while we're up by 10 points, and she can come back in fresh now.
Tough defense. Tracy drives the lane. And Bellarmine just can't find the range. This can't last for too long. IPFW has got to put the nails on this one. And Townsend, a beautiful shot from the outside. Just inside the three-point line. Out to Johnson. Looking inside. Tracy. The foul. The basket will count. Tina Merrill will be charged for, I believe, her second. And Stephanie Tracy will try and cut the deficit to 9 with 11:46 remaining in the first half. And she can't convert. Tina Merrill with the rebound. Again, physical play. And 21, Rita Johnson will be called on the foul as Tina Merrill made a strong move to the basket. That's Bellarmine's third foul, third team foul of the first half, and Rita Johnson's first. IPFW will take it out of bounds as Lisa Miller will substitute for Nancy Townsend, I'm sorry.
It will be interesting to see how well IPFW does with Nancy out. She basically ran the offense, controlled it, slowed it down when they needed to, so it'll be interesting to see how the freshman Lisa Miller can handle this pressure here.
And controversial call, last touch, the referee's judgment that Dawn Harbaugh last touched it on the inbound pass. It'll be Bellarmine Bell ball. And try saying that 3 times fast. Amy Newhouser back in the ball game. I was trying to say for Bellarmine, number 15, Donna Kalin comes back in for the first time. Check that. From about 14, can't find it. And number 12, Michelle Call, getting the rebound and is fouled. She'll get the basket and will go to the free throw line to convert.
That also puts IPFW over the limit, so that will put Bellarmine at the line for 1-on-1 for all common fouls from now on.
IPFW, they're a physical team. They get into foul trouble fairly early, don't they, Dan?
Yeah, they haven't had too many foul outs, but they have a lot of players. Terry uses a lot, so they end up with a lot of fouls per game, but they haven't had a lot of people foul out. So I want to take a look and see how Bellarmine is as a free throw shooting team.
Carl converts on the 3-point play. IPFW breaking the press nicely. Out to Newhouser. Turner with the drive, and she was bumped by Angie McClone, the freshman. It's a nice move by Tina, trying to go baseline, and she draws the foul.
Sarah needs to play stronger, Bobby. I've been talking about her all year when I've won this broadcast, and that is that she just needs to be stronger inside. She's got some very pretty moves. Oftentimes she just doesn't finish it off. And
she's only a sophomore. She'll have 2 more seasons after this one. probably makes Coach Terry Rosinski a very happy camper. And there's a good shot right there of Sarah Turner, the sophomore.
IPFW is a very good free throw shooting team. They're shooting 75% and leading the conference in that category.
Tracy with the ball, with the head fake. She gets Turner to commit herself, left her feet. And she'll pick up, I believe, her second. No, that's her first.
That's
okay,
her first foul. That's
check
right.
that. Will that be a tactic of Bellarmine, try to get Sarah Turner out of the ball game by attacking her, hopefully get her in foul trouble?
Well, I don't think they'll do it for that reason. I think that we see how much a part of this offense that Stephanie Tracy is, and I think they'll have to take it inside just to get her into the ball game, and that may be an end result, but I don't think it'll be for that reason, Bobby.
Tracy connects on the first front end of the 1-and-1, looking to hit both of them. And she does. And it's 16-9 with 10:57 remaining in the first half. Full court pressure put on by the Bellarmine Bells. Miller with the ball. .13 seconds remaining on the shot clock. And it was last touched by number 5, Claudia Smith. IPFW ball. Rosinski will go to her bench, and coming in will be Nancy Townsend for Judah Guess. There we go. There's our end zone positioning. Looking at it from ground floor level. Lisa Miller there with the ball. 2 seconds left on the shot clock. She throws up a prayer. Rebound number 15, Donna Kalin. Bellarmine ball looking to cut the deficit to 5. Tracy gets her own rebound and gets the 2.
And Bellarmine's fighting back in this ball game, and it's basically been on the shoulders of Stephanie Tracy. She's got 8 of their 11 now.
Newhouser with the drive, and she's fouled by number 44, Angie McClone.
Be interesting to see how they call this one, Bobby. She looked like she was going up for the shot, but she actually passed off, and it looks like that's the way they're going to call it.
Yeah, that's what they're going to call. Bellarmine with 5 fouls here in this first half. Substitution for the Bellarmine Mills, 22, Shannon Miles goes in. And IPFW will inbound. Turner, a little too hard off the rim, and Bellarmine will break again. Yeah, Dan, there was just no way that a 6-1 ball club was going to let something like that totally take them out of their ball game.
Well, it happened after they called that timeout. They basically turned up their intensity, both offensively and defensively, and it's made a difference here.
From the outside, number 15, Donna Kalin. And it's now a 3-point ball game.
Well, and we outscored them 12-0, and in this last run now they've outscored us 13-4. So it's been a give and take ball game here.
That's a bad pass by Sarah Turner. Body's on the floor. Bellarmine still with the ball. Got a 3-on-4, but she'll take it from 3-point range. Merrill comes down with it. Out to Townsend. She'll stop and doesn't find a whole lot. But Newhouser with a strong move. And she's fouled by 22, Shannon Miles. Nice positioning there by Amy Newhouser.
Oh, Amy Newhouser at 5'7" got positioned underneath the ball, underneath the boards there, just stayed on the ball and was able to take it back up and take the foul.
Kind of disappointing on that shot by Nancy Townsend. She had the time, just really couldn't connect. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Stacy Leatherwood substituting for the Lady Dons, number 32. There you see a good shot of the freshman from Grable. Makes the first one at 17-13 with 8:55 remaining. First part of a doubleheader here on Channel 23. Both women's and men's action. And Don Harbaugh will check in for Amy Newhouser. IPFW 18, Bellarmine 13. Kalen with the ball into Tracy. Tracy, the strong move, just beat Leatherwood to the glass side. Tracy just now starting to find the hot hand after she had a painfully cold 8 minutes. Knocked out of bounds by number 24, Missy Hahn.
They're just going to post her up inside, give her the ball, and let her whirl there. She just does a really nice job. She's strong inside. She's got some nice moves, and she stays with the ball.
She seems to be a very strong girl. Merrill with the ball. Hardball being closely guarded. Out to Miller. Sees Leatherwood. And Leatherwood with a nice right hand off glass. She gets her first 2 of the night. And it's 20-15. Tracy with the ball. Looking for the entry pass. Knocked away by IPFW. 15 seconds remaining on the shot clock. See Rosinski there in your upper right-hand corner of your television screen exhorting her troops. Out to Kalen, into Tracy, who has nobody on her. She drives. Hits the front end of the iron. Rebound IPFW, Harbaugh pushing it up. Out to Miller. Merrill can't find it. IPFW all over it. And Townsend comes bound with it. Miller from the outside. And she gets her 2. That's 5 points on the night for her. 22-15, 7:07 remaining. Nice ball movement by Bellarmine. And there's Tracy on the inside. IPFW, I think, is going to have to come up with something at halftime to try and shut her down, maybe double team her.
Well, I think they're going to have to just cut her coming across. She's flashing across the middle. They're going to have to cut her off, and they're not doing that right now. She's getting free will with the ball.
Tough defense here by Bellarmine. Into the paint. Out to Townsend, who will take it from outside. She got brutalized, but with the rebound, Lisa Miller. Oh, nice hustle by Lisa Miller. Going for the loose ball, substituting. And for the Lady Dons, number 15, Judy Guess. And for the Bellarmine Bells, number 31, Gina Cornett. And I believe number 15, Donna Kalen in. Kalen trying to take that shot. And they'll call a held ball. Alternating possession, IPFW. Take it out on the side, 6:17 remaining.
I think Judy Guess was the one involved in that held ball, and she just doesn't quit, Bobby. She just stays after the ball all the time. You look at her and you just wonder how she could play this game for 40 minutes.
She's not what you'd call one of your more physical players.
But she's not afraid to mix it up in there.
There's Guess with the ball right now. Off to Townsend. Now to Harbaugh. Out to Guess from three-point. Just short. And number 31, Jenna Cornett, will be called for the foul. Newhauser again with excellent positioning. And in for IPFW, Sarah Turner once again. Coming in for Stacy Leatherwood. Nice time put in by the freshman.
I hope that Sarah Turner was able to observe Stephanie Tracy for a while, because that's exactly what Sarah Turner needs to do. Flash across the middle there and be strong going to the boards.
Tracy just getting a quick blow there, just out for about a minute. She's back into the ball game. And it'll be Lisa Miller at the line.
Very good free throw shooter.
And there's one. Now you don't want to jinx her up here.
I know, and I've done that before too.
Just what this broadcast needs. And
we did.
Oh, now I had to go and say it. Well, maybe we need you to say something now.
In fact, Lisa's leading the conference with 84% from the free throw line, so she's just done a tremendous job coming in here as a freshman. She's really matured very quickly and has been a real help to this Terry Rosinski team.
Kalen with the ball. Duddy drives, and she'll be fouled by number 15, Judy Guess. I believe they're going to call a two-shot foul. She was in the act of shooting. Newhouser and Tina Merrill will be added to the IPFW lineup, coming in for Dawn Harbaugh and Judy Guess. Duddy will be at the line shooting two. It's 5:37 remaining here in the first half. Keep wanting to say second half. 5:37 remaining here in the first half. IPFW up 25-17. Looking at the sophomore guard from Louisville, Kentucky there. 8-point lead for IPFW. IPFW started out to a 12-0 lead, and Bellarmine charged back to make this a close contest. It's been as close as 3 points, but IPFW reasserting itself as 25-18. 7-point lead, 5:37 remaining. Full court pressure again put on by the Bells. Newhouser off to Miller, and she was fouled by, I believe, Cornett.
Amy did a good job there, taking the ball inside, looking for the open person. Lisa Miller held her ground, did a really nice job. So that will put Lisa at the line. She's already got 9 points.
No, that's number 11. Check that. Stephanie Duddy with the foul. You got to say something, Dan. That's you got to say she's.
Lisa's a terrible free throw shooter here, Bobby. So.
No. Something good. Something good. It worked last time. There we go.
Actually, Lisa's a very good free throw shooter, shooting 84% from the free throw line.
26-18. 8-point lead for the Lady Dons. Looking to come away here from the IPFW Athletic Center with a big win. Will be a big feather in the cap of Coach Rosinski's hat. But in 15, Donna Kalen with a nice move inside, cuts the deficit to 6. And to Turner, ball fake. Out to Merrill, who can't find the range. Rebound Tracy and Bellarmine. Into Miles, inside to Tracy. Oh, and a beautiful block by Sarah Turner, but Shannon Miles was right there to collect the loose ball and gets an easy 2. Physical play. Tina Merrill just hit the deck. Ball knocked out of bounds by the Bellarmine Bells. IPFW ball. And checking into the ball game for IPFW number 35, Shelly Sands, coming off a fairly bad knee injury. First action that I've seen her at the IPFW Athletic Center. And Sands got stripped right there. I thought she got hacked on the wrist, but no call. Tracy,
nice defense.
Tracy tried to do it one-on-one, but oh, that was an uppercut by, I believe, Kalen, but Newhouser not able to come down with the basket. I think might have called an intentional foul on that, or?
I'm not sure. I thought she fouled her before the shot, but they're going to give her 2 here, so I'm not sure what the call was, Bobby.
Well, it looked like she came under with a nice Mike Tyson uppercut, but well, I've seen worse blows here at the IBFW Athletic Center. Substitution for the Bells, number 25, Connie Carroll in for 15, Donna Kalen. .348 remaining here in the first half, 27-22. Make that 28-22. Both teams in the bonus. Possession arrow indicating for Bellarmine. That'll be short. Rebound, Bellarmine. Mills had it briefly, couldn't have the handle. IPFW ball out to Lisa Miller. To Merrill. Leatherwood getting set to check back in for the Lady Dons. Excellent pass by Sarah Turner. And Miller gets the bounce. 30-22. The lead is now 8. It's been a quick first half so far, Dan.
Yes, it has. There has been very few timeouts. Clock hasn't stopped the whole bunch.
And that's Rita Stephanie Tracy once again. How many points?
She's unofficially averaged for 14, Bobby.
Accounting for over half of Bellarmine points so far in this first half. IPFW's got to come up with some way to shut her down, but Sarah Turner is called for the charge.
I think that was a good call. I think the Bellarmine player was backing up, but Sarah stuck her hand out and just gave a little bit of a shove there, so I think that was a good call by the official.
Could have gone either way, and I think that's what Terry Rosinski is arguing right now, but I don't think she's going to find any appeal court here at the Athletic Center. Bellarmine looking to cut the lead to 4. Tracy with the ball out to Duddy. Outside shot, 25, Connie Carroll. I believe that's her first 2 of the ball game.
That is.
Out to Merrill. Looking for the pick and roll for Turner. They converge, Bellarmine. And the rebound to Carroll. Carroll's done a nice job coming off the bench. Has become an impact player here in the latter stages of the first half. Again, Carroll. Nice job of boxing Lisa Miller. Mills was on her back. IPFW ball, Newhouser. Into Turner. And there's the foul. Number 22, Shannon Miles, with the foul. Miles, a very physical player. We've seen that earlier in the game, and it looked like Sarah Turner will go to the foul line shooting for the bonus.
Bobby, IPFW is getting the ball inside that 10-foot range, and they're not being strong with it. They're not taking the ball to the basket and getting those points. They've got to do that. And the person on the line there, Sarah Turner, is the one who's got to convert there.
Sarah Turner hitting the first end of the 1-and-1. Substitution for Bellarmine coming in, number 12, Michelle Carl, and for Stephanie Duddy. 31-26, just under 2 minutes remaining. And she hits them both. It's now a 6-point lead. Into Tracy. And to Carroll. Carroll hits the back end of the rim, but gets her own rebound. Nice hustle by Carroll. Bellarmine. Kind of a touch call there, Dan. Looked like she, number 24, Missy Hahn, had stuck out her arm, but I believe Stacy Leatherwood will be called for their foul. I believe that's her first.
Well, the officials are obviously going to try to keep control of the game here. They don't want to get out of hand, and we've seen some pretty physical play, so they're going to just keep their eye on what's happening here.
Sort of a touch call in comparison to what we have been seeing, almost a rugby scrum at times. There's Missy Hahn, the sophomore from Bloomfield, Kentucky. And she hits the front end, 2-shot foul. 27-32. Looking again, wants to cut it to 4. And she does. Lacey Miller to inbound. Full court pressure put on by the Bells. And IPFW with fairly relative ease. Breaks it. And that's Connie Carroll. No, I believe, check that, that's Missy Hahn. Apparently they're not going to call that outreached hand as a foul. So every time I think we're going to see contact, I think it's going to go the offensive player's way. Hopefully they'll call that consistently for the whole ball game, Dan. Newhouser at the line. And gets the shooter's touch. Action turning into a free throw contest here in the latter stages. First half.
We jinxed them again, Bobby. You talked about how quickly the first half was moving, and here the last 5 minutes have been fairly slow. So.
Well, I've been known to be wrong. More wrong than right, I suppose. Out to Connie Carroll. Shannon Miles with the ball. Nice job by Sarah Turner denying Tracy the ball. Oh, that's a tough call. Shelly Sands will be called for the foul.
What makes that even a little bit more difficult to take is that the whistle appeared to be a little late.
Thought she got all ball, but maybe there was contact with the body. They have a lot better view down there than we do up here. Rest assured. Of course, we're here in the luxury seats up here. Most people would have to pay what, $2,000, $3,000, $3,000 a season? Yeah. That's just for basketball. That's not counting volleyball, which we'll talk about fairly soon. One minute remaining here in the first half. 5-point lead for IPFW. Man-to-man pressure, as they have all half. And Sarah Turner called for the trailing. Sarah's been running into some difficulty in the second half of this first period. Started off fairly well, but she's run into frustration city. Carroll with the ball, looking to clear out for Tracy. And nobody home. Carroll looking for the lob pass inside, but nobody broke for it. IPFW could take the last shot here. There's a 2-second differential here on the shot clock. 18 remaining with 20 seconds left in the first half. Newhouser with the ball. She drives, and that's a beautiful move to get the two. 10 seconds remaining. Bellarmine looking to push it up, trying to close out this first half. She drives, and Lisa Miller called for the charge. For the blocking foul, excuse me. I'll get my terminology right.
That's a very important call, Bobby. 4 seconds left on the clock here in the first half, and that's Lisa Miller's third foul. And she and Amy Newhouser have been the offensive punch here with 10 points, each with 10 points for 20 between the two of them.
Nice move by Brzezinski out there to get Lisa Miller trying not to commit that foolish fourth foul here in the first half. Jennifer Needhammer comes back in. 4 seconds remaining. Shot clock is, of course, off. 36-29. A 1-1, and she hits the first half.
Missy Hahn's done a real nice job here in later stages. She's been to the free throw line. I think this is her 6th attempt here in the last 5 minutes or so. She's come in and done a really nice job for this Bellarmine Bell Club.
And she hits both of them. 4 seconds remaining. Townsend will look to take the from about downtown, and fairly close, but that ends first half of action. Score here 36-31, IPFW in the lead here at halftime. Very interesting play, especially after the beginning of the game.
Well, I think both coaches have aspects they can be proud of and aspects they have to worry about, Bobby. Obviously, from the Terry Brzezinski standpoint, she was very happy with the way the Lady Dons came out and jumped off that 12-point lead, did the things they had to do, and those kinds of things. I think in the last 15 minutes of the half, though, they lost some of their intensity. On the other hand, I'm sure Charlie Just, with his Bell Club, felt like they needed to come out and didn't have that intensity originally, and were able to jack it up a notch, both offensively and defensively, get Sarah Turner into Stephanie Tracy into the offense, able to get some turnovers, force some poor shots and some missed shots, and they've cut that 12-point deficit down to a 5-point deficit here at halftime, so they've got to feel real good. I think it's going to be real important for IPFW to come back out in the second half now. They're minus Robin Scott, which is one of their leaders, and so they're going to have to come out and do a really nice job here to start the beginning of the second half. And we really haven't seen them in this kind of a situation before. It's always been a fairly substantial lead at this point in the game for them. So it'll be interesting to see how well they come out and what kind of pressure they can put on Bellarmine to start out the second half.
Just add on to what you were saying earlier. It's going to be very hard to keep a ball club that is, of course, 11-4 overall, 6-1 down, as they started out and as they did here in the first half. There's just no way that you're going to get the numbers eventually, and eventually the odds will win you out. Just started out with a cold hand, and of course the true test of a good team is the ability to bounce right back after adversity. And of course, starting out the game down 12 points, I don't think you could get a whole lot adverse than that.
Well, and I think the Lady Dons have got to win here at home all of their conference games. They don't have much choice. They're a very young ball club. They start a lot of freshmen.
Well, they're 2-4 too.
And that's right, 2-4 to start out the season, and they've got to win those ball games at home because going on the road, they're not doing that well right now. So it's imperative that they do well here. This is one of the teams they just have to beat. So it's important that they come back out here and do a good job right away.
Okay, once again, the score here, 36-31. IPFW, if we could go quickly over the unofficial scoring there. We do have some numbers here. Of course, they are highly unofficial, and any attempt to rebroadcast these numbers will, of course, get you in trouble with the FCC, or at least something like that.
Well, and I will try to update officially at halftime here, but unofficially for IPFW with 36, Nancy Townsend with 2, Tina Merrill with 4, Amy Newhouser with 10, Lisa Miller with 12, Stacy Leatherwood with 2, and Sarah Turner with 6. For the Bellarmine Bells, on the other hand, for a total of 31, they have 14 from Stephanie Tracy after she got into the offense. Stephanie Duddy got 1, Michelle Carl has 3, Donna Kalin has 4, Shannon Mills has 2, Missy Hahn has 5, and Connie Carroll has 2. So it's a 36-31 ball game here, Bobby.
Okay, once again, updating you for the probably nteenth time today. 36-31 first half action here at the doubleheader here at the IPFW Athletic Center. Once again, I'm Bob Kramer with Dan Gebhardt. First of a doubleheader. We're going to have the men's game approximately starting about 7:30.
Must be somebody else.
And we do.
Cheers, Cave.
Is your team fulfilling the expectations you had for the year?
Well, I've always had very high expectations, whether it be for myself or the team that I'm coaching. And to be quite honest, I feel that we've kind of hit a slump a little bit as far as fulfilling what we're capable of. And, we can attribute that to not being able to play well on the road or, a tremendous amount of youth and inexperience on the team. But, I've tried to take some of that keep some of that in perspective, but I also feel that maybe we've let ourselves down a little bit and that we're capable of beating some of the teams that we've been beaten on the road against.
Who's the most contributor for the team?
Well, there's quite a few people. I guess right now I'm focusing on positive mental attitude and work ethic, but if going to another area, as far as being able to contribute defensively, offensively, and on the boards and things like that, we've had quite a few people. And I guess first and foremost in my mind would be Lisa Miller. And I guess for both of those reasons. Number one, I feel that she kind of typifies the heart and soul of what I believe is critical in basketball and with this program. Now, I have several other kids that do that as well, but I think Lisa's right at the head of that. You know that every day she's going to give you everything she's got. She's continually striving to improve, and when an adjustment needs to be made, she's sharp enough and also intense enough to make that adjustment, whether it be some type of defensive footwork or something like that. She's able to improve that. And Lisa also is coming out of a little bit of a slump herself. She was able to pick back up and score 24 points against Lewis after having about 2 or 3 games where the shots wouldn't fall, was maybe pressing just a little bit, and I feel that she's worked out of that. And Lisa's always going to be a strong contributor defensively. She's still learning. The freshman's still getting beaten, picking up some unnecessary fouls, but the heart's there. The effort's being put forth. Amy Newhouser, also at our point guard, she's going through some growing pains and has struggled. This is a new level of play, and Amy, this is a new position for her as well. She was not a point guard in high school, and now all of a sudden she's thrust into a starting point position at the college level. She's been making some adjustments offensively and defensively, and Amy, like Lisa, And I guess I really want to commend these two, giving me everything they've got. You know, they give 110% every day. They're ready to do whatever it takes to be successful, even though we're going to struggle and they're still learning. And so I guess that's probably one of the most important things that I really admire and look for in players. On the other end of the floor, we've got some other players that are contributing defensively with their scoring and things like that, and I feel that they'll continue to be strong factors with us. You know, that would be Sarah Turner inside. She needs to toughen up on defense, but offensively she's been very important to us. Perhaps not Saturday, but in Thursday and the week before with her ball games, her offensive efforts. Robin Scott has been a good force for us on the boards, and as well as their defensive play inside. And we have to have consistency from these players, as well as my freshmen being able to come in and continue to progress and strive. You know, Jennifer Needhammer, for example, had 2 tremendous games. I feel that there's finally a player inside that's kind of been waiting to come out. Against University of Southern Indiana, she led the team in rebounding, and I feel that she can be a force to be reckoned with as her confidence factor and intensity level continues to grow. And we just have quite a few players that are kind of on the threshold of breaking out, whether it be with a work ethic or fundamentals on defense or offense. They're kind of on the edge, and right now we just have to remain positive, the coaching staff and myself, to keep them heading in the right direction so that we continue to improve, to have that nucleus for next year, but also to win some more ball games. You know, we obviously feel that we can win quite a few more ball games this year, but the effort's going to have to be made on our team's part to do that.
Okay, I guess you've already answered my third question. Are there any surprises this year? Has anybody really came right out and totally surprised you?
On my team? No. I mean, I guess I recruited these kids knowing what was there, the potential that was there, and maybe I'm just waiting for them to show me what they've got, because I know it's there, and it's a matter of nurturing them and their confidence and trying to bring out the best in them. And I guess the biggest thing this young team needs to learn is that we need that every day and every ball game for 40 minutes, because everyone they face is going to be an Indiana All-Star or an All-SAC player, all 5 people on the floor at one time, and we just have to learn to play at that level and play with some consistency.
Has the team set a goal yet for the rest of the season?
Well, we set a goal coming into Saturday's game, and that was a goal. You know, we felt that we should have won that ball game if we just had a lot of missed opportunities, basically, and we're unable to capitalize on, you know, 2 good steals at the end of the ball game we had. We were unable to put the ball in the basket. You know, we had some free throw opportunities that could have sealed the game for us, and you know, I feel that we made some strides. Say from a month ago, we were in a 3-point ball game with 1:35 to go against Ashland College. I believe that was our first conference game, and we ended up losing by 9. I feel that we made great strides against Lewis Saturday, in that we were able to get the ball across the 10-second line and call our plays and timeouts and run. It's just, you know, couldn't get it in the basket. So I feel that we're doing better as far as that goes.
Okay, thanks a lot, Coach, and good luck.
All right, thank you very much.
I don't think you should ever forget that the freedom of this station to broadcast the show you're watching is made possible because of the Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution, the words we live by.
Hello. Please join us for the IPFW Mind and Body Workout every Tuesday and Thursday evening at 5 p.m. Please join us for the IPFW Mind and Body Workout every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9:30. See you then.
My mother, she drinks a lot, and it got me addicted.
Drinking and taking me so far down, I had to get out of my house.
It made me do things that I never thought I'd do.
If I take one drink, I'm gonna take another and another because I can't control myself, and I'll die.
Hey, yo, alcohol is a drug, and you can get hooked on it. And the younger you start, the more damage you can do. Word.
I'm cool in my way, not by drinking.
But now I can see going to college.
Say no and say yes to your life.
Enter and state your name.
Amy Newhouser.
You're the point guard, right?
Point guard.
Okay, and?
Lisa Miller, I'm a guard forward.
Okay. Has anything surprised you yet this season?
I don't think anything surprised me this season. I knew we'd have a good season. We aren't doing quite as well as we thought, but nothing really surprised me.
Okay. Has the team really set a goal yet for the rest of the season?
Yeah, the coach has talked about some of the games that we have left. Our season is probably about half over with now, and the rest of them are conference games except for one, and we're trying to finish in the top 3 in the conference, and that's basically our goal. And just to improve we're young, we're just trying to improve as every game goes on.
Okay, what would be your role on the court?
My role probably is not as much leadership as the other juniors or sophomores have, since we both are just freshmen, but I think as a role I have to do my hardest and have kind of a leadership role to show the other people on the team that we have to play hardest every second of the game since we are so young.
You're shooting almost 50%, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, but I don't shoot that often, but yes, I am shooting about 50%. Mostly what I do is I bring the ball down the court and I try to run the offense best I can, and it's mostly what I do. I just not there to shoot.
Okay, is there anything that the team, how is the team right now as a team? Are they laid back? Are they excited? Are they a little angry at themselves, or how would you determine that?
I think we're we're excited that we know that we can come out with being one of the top 3 in the conference, and I don't know. Ask her.
Okay.
I think we are excited. We are doing pretty well for a team that has 7 freshmen on it and no seniors. It's difficult once in a while when it's frustrating, I should say, when you lose against some of the teams that we've lost against when we think we're better than them. I think since we're so young, we make mistakes, and each day in practice we're trying to learn from those mistakes. So as we go down the road with 12 more games, that we won't make those same mistakes.
So it's probably too early yet to say wait till next year, but that's pretty much where we stand?
Right. But I think this year we still have a good chance of finishing with a really, really good record, which I think will help our confidence for next year.
Great. So basically you're just wishing the team to grow and develop, and then next year you're going to go out and probably be really even more successful than this year.
We're hoping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, ladies.
Yeah.
And welcome back to the IPFW Athletic Center. Once again, I'm Bob Kramer with Dan Gebhardt here for second half action here at the IPFW Athletic Center, affectionately known as the Mastodons. And we have the official scoring here for you as we take a quick look at it.
Yeah, I do, Bobby. The official scoring is basically as we gave it before. Let me run down that once more for the IPFW Lady Dons. They're led in scoring by Lisa Miller with 12, followed by Amy Newhouser with 10. Tina Merrill has 4, Nancy Townsend has 2, Stacy Leatherwood has 2, and Sarah Turner has 6 for, again, a total of 36. For the Bellarmine Bells, Stephanie Tracy's leading with 14. Stephanie Duddy has 1, Michelle Carl has 2, Donna Kalin has 4, Shannon Miles 2, and Missy Hahn 5, and Connie Carroll 2. Nobody's in real foul trouble except for Lisa Miller with 3 for the IPFW. Shooting statistics go like this. IPFW is shooting 12 for 23 for 52%. Much better than Bellarmine, who's shooting 11 for 29 for only 38%, and obviously that was attributable to that dry spell at the beginning. Rebounding, let's go with free throws there. Both teams shooting very well. Bellarmine shooting 9 for 12 for 75%, and IPFW shooting 12 for 14 for 85%.
That's characteristic of IPFW.
Characteristic of IPFW's team, that's correct.
Yeah.
Rebounds, right now IPFW is being out-rebounded by Bellarmine 18-16, which is a little bit of a surprise because IPFW comes in here as a better rebounding ball club than Bellarmine, so they're going to have to shut that down inside. I think a lot of that's attributable to Stephanie Tracy, who has 6, and she's the rebounding leader for that team. Lisa Miller has 5 rebounds as an individual. And again, foul trouble, only Lisa Miller is the only one with 3 at this point in time.
I think one of the keys here, Dan, is that IPFW is going to have to find some way to contain Stephanie Tracy, who seems to be their big gun. so far for the Bellarmine Bells. And also another key will be to try and contain their fast break, at least try to get something off it, as their press has been fairly effective so far.
Well, and they've got to get everybody in our offense. It's important right now to get Tina Merrill and Sarah Turner back in the offense. Right now it's being carried by the 2 freshmen. And as we talk, they got the ball inside to Stephanie Tracy right away.
Second half action already underway. Lob pass into Stephanie Tracy. She's going to be the key if Bellarmine's going to come away with the W. We're here in the column. Tracy will be shooting 2. Misses the front end. And Tracy will try to salvage 1 point. And she does. Action just underway, 19. Last touch by Bellarmine, IPFW ball.
This is an important few minutes here on the clock, Bobby. Bellarmine's been able to cut that lead back down to 2. They've come out very strong here offensively. IPFW has not been very strong offensively. They've only gotten 1 shot so far in this half, and they need to do it right now.
Angie McGlone comes back in for the Bells, taking out Shannon Miles, who picked up her 3rd foul pretty quickly. Merrill tried to drive the lane, forced the shot, rebound to Bellarmine. And McGlone, nice move, thought she was out of control, but she was able to toss it in. Jennifer Needhammer looking to check back in. Miller with the ball. Out top to Merrill. Into Miller. May have been fouled, but no call. Into Miller again, she'll stop and pop. And IPFW, 38-36. It's as close as it's been the whole contest. Of course, except for the beginning. Nice push by Sarah Turner. She's not called for that. Physical play. Out to Klein. Shoots a rainbow, and it's good. Full court pressure again by the Bells. And that's a travel on Newhouser. She dragged her foot, I think.
I think what Terry's trying to do here with this substitution, with Jennifer Needhammer coming in for Sarah Turner, is to put a little strength against strength there with number 44, Angie McGlone.
Also, Sarah has sort of run into her own mental brick wall. She's really had a frustrating time as of late. Started out well, but ever since the 10-minute mark of the first half, she's really had her trouble. Out to Klein. And that's off. Needhammer had a hand on it, couldn't control. Rebound Bellarmine. That's Connie Carroll. And that's 2 points. Missy Hahn, excuse me.
And that's Bellarmine's first lead in the ball game. They go ahead 40-38.
First lead of the ball game, as you mentioned. It's got to be a big emotional lift for the Bells. And a Needhammer. And stripped away. Bellarmine ball. And Jennifer Needhammer called for the foul. Kind of getting rough and tumble. You said something earlier about referees getting some sort of control of the ball game, but apparently.
Well, they're not letting it get out of hand. They're still calling the fouls. It is getting a little physical in there, but again, I think this league is generally a very physical league, so I think that's both teams have to come in expecting that. I think this is a wise timeout by Terry Rosinski. They've just been outscored 8-2 here, 9-2 here, and it's very important that they get in the flow, and they haven't done that yet this half. They haven't had a good offensive movement. They haven't had very good shot selection, and it's important that they do that right now.
Want to remind everybody you're watching this IPFW contest here on The Connection for IPFW Sports Channel 23.
Also like to remind those fans out there that they still have time to get out here for the men's game starting at approximately 7:30, which should be a very good contest between the IPFW Dons and the Bellarmine Knights.
Expecting a full house, aren't we?
Well, we hope so.
Bellarmine coming into the contest, the men, 12-4 overall and 4-3 in the GLVC. Should be a good one, folks. Substitution in for IPFW. Shelly Sands seems to have checked into the ball game, and with Stacy Leatherwood. A nice trap defense by IPFW. Running the break. Miller on the trailer. Excellent execution by the Lady Dons. It's a 40-40 ball game. All tied up with 16:40 remaining. And thrown away. Looks like Shelly Sands has re-hurt her knee, but she's trying to work it out.
Well, she's got a very big brace in there, Bob, and I'm not sure exactly what she did, but it does look like she's limping considerably right now.
She's a gutty performer, we'll give her that much. Miller with a nice move, but she's hacked. Michelle Carl with the reach in. And there's Judy Guess looking to enter the contest. And there she goes. Shelly Sands comes out. She'll probably have that knee looked at.
We spoke of the youngness of this team. Right now there are 4 freshmen and a junior in there, Bobby.
He didn't say anything, Dan. You got to keep saying something about a free throw shooting.
She'll hit this one.
Okay. 16:23 remaining. Once again, it's a 40-40 tie. You're getting better at that. Very good. 1 point lead for the Lady Dons. And we're waiting for an explanation of the call. I didn't see it, Dan.
I think they're going to call a holdout on Nancy Townsend there, so it'll be a common foul. She obviously doesn't feel like she fouled there, but
that's her second, team's third. An excellent position by Stacy Leatherwood, just waiting for Kaylin come down the line, draw the charge. Excellent play by the freshman. IPFW will look to extend their lead as number 21, Rita Johnson, will enter the lineup for the Bells.
Stacy Leatherwood did a really nice job down there, Bobby, on the baseline. She came across from the weak side, held her ground, and took the charge, and it's exactly what they needed to do to get Bellarmine out of their offensive run they had.
Key position for IPFW. They don't have any of their really big scorers. They still have Lisa Miller in there, but none of their top guns are in there. They'll look to get something from this possession. Give the starters a breather. As Newhouser out to Townsend. Townsend with the shot clock running down. Leatherwood with a big rebound. Scrambling on the floor. And Townsend flags it down. Not what you'd call excellent offensive execution, but
no, but they scrapped and they hustled and they kept control of the ball, so that's what's important. Nice shot by Judy Guess there.
She got fouled after the release. It didn't hit a whole lot of just about anything. 24 seconds remaining. That's a 3-second call. Could have been either on Townsend or Lisa Miller.
What an effect that series did, though, Bobby. It made Bellarmine work on defense for almost a minute there. That's a very good job. They were able to control the ball 3 different times and make Bellarmine work for that full 1 minute there defensively.
That's very impressive, too, because they don't have a great deal of height in that lineup either. That's excellent positioning on the offensive bound. Kaylin with the ball. She drives the line. Excellent help by weak side defense. A couple of shots made up. And McGlone gets the 2. Nice hard work on that offensive board by the Bells, taking a 1-point lead with 14:40 remaining. Yeah, that's over the back. Michelle Carl with the foul.
Bobby, we want to take a look the next time down the floor here. It appears that the adjustment that IPFW made on Stephanie Tracy at halftime is to put Nancy Townsend, the junior, with some experience to guard her in her face the whole second half, and she's done a very good job of it. I think that's probably, we questioned that call a little while ago, and I think that's what they're doing. They're butting up head-to-head right there.
It's probably what they called it the halftime. Of course, Nancy Townsend, one of the better defensive players for the Lady Dons. Sarah Turner stripped of the ball. There's Kaylin driving off to Tracy. Nice ball movement by the Bells. and they take a 3-point lead. IPFW's got to be pretty wary that they don't give up a number of points here in a Bellarmine run. Take them right out of this ball game. Settling it down, Dawn Harbaugh out to Merrill. And Sarah Turner is really struggling right now. I thought she had the ball, just couldn't find the handle. Into Angie McGlone. And last touch by IPFW's Lisa Miller. IPFW ball. That was a quick inbound. Sarah Turner with another blocked shot.
I'm not sure that Tina Merrill didn't get away with a foul on the first attempt there.
Tracy with the ball. And got away. Excellent defense by Dawn Harbaugh. Coming up with a key turnover. Townsend drives. She'll be called for the charge. We'll see if the basket will count.
Oh, he
and
did
no
not
basket.
Count the basket. I think if they reviewed the tape, they'd see that the ball had left her hand before she charged in there. But that's the officials called down on the floor, and it's a tough one.
Unfortunately, there's no NFL replay official here. I think it got lost on US 30, but be that as it may, Bellarmine with the ball in a 3-point lead, 13:05 remaining second half. Bellarmine trying to put a run here and put the Lady Dons out of commission. And there's their big gun right there. Number 24, Missy Hahn, another nice shot. That's a 5-point lead for the Bells. Once again, 46-41, 12:50 remaining. IPFW in serious danger. Haven't had a good offensive production. Merrill throwing up a tough shot. Miller with a nice rebound. Townsend with the ball. Miller, foul before the shot. We'll see who it's on.
Well, Bobby, I mentioned very early in this ball game that I thought that IPFW was being able to play their whole offense, set it up and run it underneath the basket. And you'll notice that this half Bellarmine has moved their defensive pressure out higher, and IPFW has been forced to run around the free throw line, and that just isn't where they want to be right now.
Stephanie Tracy collects her second foul. Not in any real danger. Miller. Excellent call. Angie McGlone leaned into Miller as she was making her move to the basket.
And that's a sixth on Bellarmine here in the second half. So actually it's a seventh. It may be the one. That could be an important factor. IPFW shooting at about an 85% clip here. So if they can connect on their free throws, it could help them score while the clock is not running. Trailing here by 5.
Role reversal. Usually you see IPFW in foul trouble this early, but this time it's the Bellarmine Bells, as IPFW has only collected 4 fouls this second half. Number 31, Gina Cornett, enters the lineup. And also number 11, Stephanie Duddy. Nice job by number 12, Michelle Carl. Ran the offense very well for Bellarmine. 12:16 remaining, 4-point lead for Bellarmine. And Lisa Miller cuts it to 3. An important defensive possession. And we'll see who that's called on. Stacy Leatherwood trying to D up Stephanie Tracy. That's her second foul.
They've really tried to tighten the defense on Stephanie, not let her have the ball, which is a very smart thing to do. They just need to watch the hands and the elbows.
I have to admit that's been a fairly inconsistent call all night. Duddy from outside. Nice move on the inside, Missy Hahn. I see there's been a lot of banging, but not a whole lot of calls, and then you get a touch call like that. But who am I to say, Dan? Harbaugh with the ball.
IPFW looks a little lackadaisical now, not crisp in their passes, not running their offense very well. They need to get into that motion.
Could they be experiencing emotional letdown? They were up by 12 at the start of this game, and now they're down by 5. They'll have to work at this.
I think that might be part of the problem.
That's a break for IPFW. Don Harbaugh shot nothing but air, but Stephanie Tracy last touched the ball, knocking it out of bounds. IPFW ball, 43-48.
IPFW with the starting lineup back in needs to make its move now. Can't fall too far behind here.
Out to Townsend.
There's your consistency, Bob.
So to speak. I'm going to use that term loosely.
We have not seen Sarah Turner, nor have we seen Tina Merrill really get into the offense the second half. They have got to score for us. The first half, Lisa Miller and Amy Newhouser carried us and kept us in the ball game, and without that point production from those two upperclassmen, we've been falling behind here.
Credit that to nice defense by Stephanie Tracy, who's been really muscling Sarah Turner. Very strong, very athletic girl. And Sarah Turner just running into frustration left and right. But she cans both, cutting the lead to 3. 48-45. Duddy. Out to Kalen. Missy Hahn. Can't find it. Again. That's got to be at least 3 or 4 seconds in the lane. No call, but Bellarmine knocks it out of bounds, hustling for the ball. IPFW.
I'm sure that they called that nobody had control, but the important fact there is that Bellarmine just kept banging away. IPFW's got to box out and grab control of that ball after one shot. Cannot afford to give Bellarmine second, third efforts.
Bellarmine's got to be tired. They've had most of their starting lineup in there the whole game. All I remember is Stephanie Tracy being out for maybe a minute and a half, somewhere midway through this first half. And that's about it. Jump ball called. Alternating possession indicating IPFW. Merrill with a nice one-on-one move. Cutting the lead to 1. 10:38 remaining. Kalen to Duddy. To Hahn. To Cornett. Can't control. The Lady Dons on the break. Townsend to Merrill. Merrill will shoot. Can't find it.
Not a smart shot. Needed to work that ball, run some time off the clock, and get the good open facing shot.
Merrill, excellent positioning, gets the rebound. Newhouser needs to slow it up, but she doesn't. She hesitates, and the excellent lean-in move gets the 2. IPFW retakes the lead, 49-48. We played 9:52. IPFW resurging with the starting lineup, retaking the lead, 49-48. What's impressed you most, Dan?
Well, what's impressed me most is Bellarmine came out and did what it had to do. It played aggressive defense. It ran its offense. And in fact, if you'll look down at your score sheet and think about your calls, they've really done it without Stephanie Tracy being a big part of that. They've spread it around, let some other kids do it. The unimpressive side, I guess, is that IPFW has not been able to do what it's wanted to do. It's been forced to run its offense much higher than it's wanted. Its points basically have been either off the fast break or a drive down the middle from outside. And that's not the way they're used to playing. They're used to passing the ball around and getting that 10, 15-foot open shot facing the basket. And they've got some very good shooters, but they're not showing that tonight. I think the key here is going to be how well Terry's kids, being young, are able to understand the pressure. They're trailing here by 1. There's still plenty of time left in this game. And at the same time, as you mentioned, Bellarmine may be getting a little bit tired, so they'll see how they react to it. But they've got some older kids who've been in these kinds of situations before. You can't be 6-1 in this conference without facing some pressure situations. So that's a key. I wonder at this point how much the absence of Robin Scott is hurting this team, both physically, her presence on the court, and spiritually as a team leader.
She's a big part of this ball club, no doubt about it. Bellarmine looking to retake the lead. Hahn. Outside to Kalen. And a nice shot from the outside. She cans. How many points for her is that on?
I got her for 8 right now, Bobby, unofficially.
49-50, 9:22 remaining. Tight second half of action. Townsend, baseball pass to Merrill. And McGlone is called for the over the back. And that's going to be a real big key because that's going to send Sarah Turner to the line.
Well, and it also gives Angie McGlone her 3rd foul, and that's not a big number at this point, but it's certainly indicative of what we need to do with, we need to get her. She's a very physical ball player, and she's been able to make some room in the middle there.
What's important is that Shannon Miles checks in, and she's had her 3rd foul. So Bellarmine with a little bit of foul trouble here in the latter stages. Sarah Turner connecting on the first half. It's one thing you don't want to do is send IPFW to the line in a free throw shooting contest because that's one of their major strengths.
2 years ago, they led the NCAA Division II in that free throw shooting category, and this year they're leading the conference. I'm not sure where they stand in the NCAA, but I know that it is in the top 10.
Unfortunately, they didn't lead in a whole lot else. Terry Rosinski has done a great job of rebuilding this program, bringing respectability to what was a very lackluster program at best. Tracy with the ball sees an open Shannon Miles. Sarah Turner with an excellent block once again. But Miles working hard gets the 2. 52-51, 8.5 left. That's a tough call. Traveling violation on Tina Merrill. Bellarmine ball.
I think that's legitimate though, Bobby. I think she does that a lot, takes that little stutter step before she gets the ball down on the floor.
Be that as it may, Bellarmine has the ball, 52-51, a 1-point lead. Missy Hahn from outside. And she's been hot. That's from about 14, 15 feet out. Excellent execution by the Bells. Gives Bellarmine a 3-point lead. 84-81. Newhouser with the ball. Check that, 54-51 if you're scoring at home. Into Miles, and she gets her 2.
Shelly Sands checked back in at that last time out, and so obviously her knee is not too bad. It may just be one of those cases where she twists it every once in a while and sends a little shot of pain up there.
I'm not aware of the nature of her injury, but it seems like it's going to be a twingy thing. Sarah Turner with a frustration foul. A lot of clutching and grabbing as she was driving to the basket. Didn't get the call, didn't get the basket, and makes a frustration foul. And Bellarmine has jumped out to a 5-point lead. Out to Kalen, Duddy, Hahn to Tracy. And Tracy, excellent inside move. And Rosinski's got to call a timeout. Bellarmine jumps out to the biggest lead of the night, 7-point lead, 58-51, with 6:59 remaining.
Right now, IPFW has to regroup. They don't look like they have any intensity out there. If you notice there, Sarah Turner thought she was going to come out of that ball game. She didn't hustle down the floor. The substitute did not get in time, and so basically it was a 5-on-4 situation. She did get back in time before it was over with, but Bellarmine was able to score and move out to this 7-point lead. And right now they need to regroup and come out and see what kind of metal they're made of. It's important that they come right back out and get back in their offense. Defensively, they're putting very little pressure on Bellarmine. Bellarmine is basically able to do whatever they want, and they're a good ball club.
And there you just saw, once again, the frustration foul of Sarah Turner. getting her third foul of the night on the replay. There you see the score, 58-51. Both teams, of course, in the bonus, second half action. IPFW with the key possession. Getting some technical assistance from the crowd here. Out to Miller, who's wide open. IPFW being very scrappy, but at the same time not getting good quality shots as IPFW is looking at Bellarmine taking a, I hate to say it, a 9-point lead, which very well is going to be very tough to come back against. Tracy inside, guarded closely by Townsend, but Tracy draws the foul.
If that is on Nancy, that's her fourth. All here in the second half, so. And I think you hit the nail on the head, Bobby. IPFW scrapping, but they didn't take a very smart shot down there at the end. It was kind of like, let's get the ball up there in the rim and try to get it to go in instead of taking it strong to the basket.
There's a senior forward from Louisville. They've got plenty of time, 6:22 remaining. By no means is IPFW out of this contest, but you can't keep spotting Bellarmine 8, 9, 10-point leads. I expect to get away with it. Tracy hits both, and it's 60-51 Bellarmine. IPFW looking to get good quality shots. Sands guarded closely by Tracy. Out to Miller, who drives. And again, Mills is called for the blocking foul. I believe that's her fourth now. But I don't think she's going to come out of the ball game. I don't think Justy is going to go back to McGlone, especially at this late time.
Well, it's important right now that IPFW doesn't lose sight of the fact that there still is 6 minutes in this ball game. I think they've got to score all 10 points. They need to get back in the game in one effort. But they do need to play intelligent basketball here and make a run.
What they're going to do is they're going to have to do it at the other end. They're going to have to shut down the Bellarmine offense, which is probably easier said than done. But that's where you win ball games, is at the defensive end of the spectrum. 5:55 remaining. IPFW down by 7. On with the ball. Kalen into Mills. And IPFW got a lucky break right there. Mills was wide open. To Newhouser, don't force the shot. Nice feed pass in the Needhammer, and she gets her first two. And she cuts it to 5, and Justy's seen enough. He needs a timeout. As the score, 60-55 with 5.5 remaining. Here at the IPFW Athletic Center, you're watching Channel 23, your IPFW Sports Connection.
That's a timeout that Charlie just needed to take. They need to get back from their standpoint. They need to slow things down, get back into what they were doing right. You're right, they missed a bunny down there that would have moved that lead back up to 9, and instead it came down to 5 with a basket at the other end. I'm not convinced IPFW is still playing the game that they need to play, though. They're getting some breaks. They're able to get the ball inside once in a while, but it's not because of the patterned offense they're running. It's just the way that things are falling into place, and they need to get back into a more organized offense. And somebody out there's got to take charge and run this team, and I think that's what they're missing right now, to be honest with you.
Defense and defensive rebounding, it's going to tell the tale if IPFW can come away with a victory over the 6-1 ball club.
Well, we're used to seeing IPFW play full court pressure, and they haven't done that tonight. I don't know what the thinking is there.
I think maybe they're just run down, maybe later stages of the season, maybe you need to be, I don't know, maybe a more mature offense, I think you
need to use that judiciously. I think that's certainly true, but I'm not sure that you can afford to just abandon it completely, which is almost what we've done tonight.
And Bellarmine with the ball. 5:23 remaining, 5-point lead, and another key turnover. IPFW almost loses it. Needhammer. Oh, and IPFW just caught a lousy break and went off the hands of Stephanie Tracy. Hopefully we can get a replay of that.
That was a big call.
That was just a bad call. That's going to happen. Unfortunately, it happened at probably the most critical and crucial moment in the ball game. But I don't think you want Needhammer shooting the ball either. She's not your top scoring prospect out there. She's in there for rebounding and defense. And that's why. Excellent board. IPFW looking to make the move. Down by 5, just under 5 minutes remaining in the game. Leatherwood, Newhouser. Newhouser takes it up, and that's too big basket. That cuts the lead to 3 points. IPFW starting to regain their confidence. Bellarmine getting a little tentative?
Yes, I think they are.
I think they're taking good shots as they're not following through, and I think they're going to call the foul.
On Stephanie Tracy.
Stephanie Tracy, that could have gone either way. You think a makeup call maybe?
Well, I don't know. Stacey Leatherwood sure raised her hand very quickly when she saw that call coming and thought it was on her, but went the other way, and that's the 4th on Stephanie Tracy.
Interesting facial expression there by the coach for the Bellarmines, Justy. I don't think he rightly agreed with that, but his eyes got as big as saucers there, but such are the fortunes. Leatherwood at the line. We got free throw statistics on Stacey Leatherwood.
Sure.
This is an IPFW, an excellent shooting. 76%.
She's not shot. She's 0 for 3 for the year. 0 for
and
4
0
now.
for 4. We should have said something before she shot. I think that was the problem. Bellarmine with the ball and a 3-point lead. Just over 4 minutes remaining. Missy Hahn. Out to Kalen. Hahn's had the hot hand as of late, but not finding a whole lot lately. And a big rebound for Bellarmine.
Jennifer Needhammer's just got to go up and get that ball and bring it down.
Out to Hahn. She's going to oh. Thought she had the good rotation on that. But another key offensive rebound. IPFW can't keep giving those away. Just not getting the good breaks. Bellarmine taking a little air out of the ball now. Offensive execution, run to perfection. As Kalen comes away with a big basket. 5-point lead, 3:14 remaining. We'll see a lot of substitutions in for both clubs.
Well, IPFW has been able to cut that lead down just a little bit. It was 9 at one point. It's down to 5, and there's still plenty of time. They just need to do things right. They need to keep that sight in fact that they need to make sure that they don't try to score all the points at one time. They don't start firing three-pointers. They have some good three-point shooters.
Well, I think it's a little early to start thinking three-point shot, isn't it?
I believe that, yes. In fact, we've only taken 1 or 2 all night and have not hit any, so I think that's certainly a key, and I think to just start throwing them up.
I'll be honest, I can't remember when we have gone to the three-point shot. That doesn't seem to be a key weapon for the Lady Dons in their arsenal tonight.
Well, Tina Merrill, tonight it is not, you're right. Tina Merrill is a very good three-point shooter. She's shooting 43% on 74 attempts, so she's very capable of doing that, but she's not had a very good night from the outside, so I don't know that you go to that at this point. I think you can still plenty of time to run your offense and do the things you need to do. You mentioned it a little while ago, it's going to be, defensively is going to be the key. They've got to turn up the defensive pressure and keep Bellarmine from getting a good shot. Donna Kalen had a 15-footer there facing the basket with no hand in her face, and you can't afford to give those up here.
And now we're back to action. 3 minutes remaining. 57-62, Bellarmine with a 5-point lead. Tina Merrill. I think she got away with one there. Could have been called for the traveling, no call.
Offense is just out too high, Bobby. You see both Tina Merrill and Sarah Turner are above the free throw line, and that just can't happen.
Not a whole lot of movement on either side, and Duddy comes away with the rebound. Nice move by Kalen to slow the ball down. Bellarmine completely in the driver's seat now. 2:30 left in the contest. And that was a key turnover. Bellarmine really needed to come away with 2 points there and really force the hand of IPFW, but IPFW is still in this contest. 2:15, down by 5. Maybe they'll go to the three-point shot. That's Merrill, that's your long-range bomber. Finding nothing.
But she just threw that up. She didn't get herself set, she didn't go straight up, and she didn't have a nice follow-through on that. She just basically threw it up in the hopes that it would go in, and you can't expect that one to fall.
Bellarmine with the ball. 5-point lead. And that's a 3-second violation. That's 2 possessions in a row that Bellarmine hasn't come away with anything.
But more importantly, IPFW hasn't capitalized on those turnovers, Bobby. And right here, I think this may be the point of the game. If they don't score this time down the floor, I think we can maybe say goodbye to this contest.
Bellarmine leaving the door wide open. IPFW needs to walk through, but not able to do it just yet. Just over a minute and a half remaining. Judy Guess. A beautiful individual move, and it's a 3-point lead, just over a minute and 25. Check that. If you're wondering, both teams are in the bonus. Possession arrow indicates Bellarmine. And they'll call the foul. Mills in the lane trying to take the shot. And it's on Lisa Miller. And I believe that's her 4th. Lisa Miller's done an excellent job playing with 3 fouls.
Yes, she has. She's played a very all-around good ball game.
And it'll be Shannon Miles at the line, shooting the 1-and-1. Need to force something to happen here. And the shot. There you see it, 1 minute and 13 remaining. Shannon Miles at the line, looking to convert for both. And once again, it's a 5-point lead, 59-64. Out to Turner.
Turner's got to post herself up inside. She can't help us too much out there in the 3-point range.
IPFW doesn't have as much time as they think they might have on this possession. Merrill from way outside, and Judy Guess will be called for over the back of number 12, Michelle Carl. Had excellent position. With a 5-point lead and 52 seconds remaining, it's not looking good for the IPFW faithful. Carl will be at the line shooting the 1-and-1, but then again, that may work to IPFW's favor if she happens to miss the first shot here.
She has not scored a second half here. She's got 3 points all in the first half.
But she gets that. It's now a 6-point lead. There she is, the guard from Cincinnati. And she misses the second end. Still a 6-point lead. And Rosinski will call a timeout. 48 seconds left in the second half. Bellarmine is enjoying a 65-59 lead.
Well, with 48 seconds, Bobby, I don't think we have much choice. We need to try to get a shot up very quickly. You don't want to take a bad shot. You still want to work for a good shot, but you need to do that within the first 5 to 10 seconds. The ball will be there at the hash mark, so it's not an unreasonable thing to expect that they can get a shot off that quick. But then they need to come back, play defense, possibly foul, and hope for a miss on the 1-and-1s and get the ball and come right back down the floor. We're looking at 3 2-point baskets or 2 3-point baskets, and that's in 48 seconds with the other team having possession in the middle is a fairly difficult thing to ask. But it's still possible. We've seen turnarounds like this happen in this kind of time. And IPFW is a very explosive ball club. They have not hit well tonight. I don't know what their shooting percentage is for the game, but they've not hit very well. And there's still that opportunity.
My guess is going to be that if they do indeed get a basket, that they're going to go right to their full court pressure, and hopefully they'll try and create a turnover. I think if they're going to go to the three-point range, the people look to will probably be Merrill, and if she's being guarded, I'd probably go to Miller.
Well, I think Judy Guess is a very good three-point shooter too, so I think that you might find they might set up Judy Guess, although
that's a three-pointer. Look for the full court, look for the full court. But they're not going to go to it. They're going to sag back into a half-court offense, a 65-62, a three-point ball game.
I don't believe they can let Bellarmine run the shot clock down.
They can't run the shot clock. There's a 7-point difference. 26 on the clock and 16. 24 on the game clock and 16 on the shot clock, as I was trying to say earlier.
Well, Bellarmine called a smart timeout there. Let's talk about things, set up what you want to do. You've got 16 seconds on the shot clock, 24 on the game clock, and there's still plenty of time for IPFW to get back in this ball game. Judy Guess, a very good shooter. Tina Merrill has not hit a three-point shot tonight, but she's also a very good three-point shooter, so they have that opportunity. They need to get the ball back no more than down by 3 with about 10 seconds to go, in my opinion, to be able to have much of a shot at this, Bobby.
This will be the most critical critical possession for Bellarmine of the night. IPFW, whether they win or lose, I think they've counted themselves very nicely here at the Athletic Center, going against a very strong, a very tough ball club in the Bellarmine Bells.
Well, I think their inexperience is showing. We talked about that at halftime. They had that 6-7 point lead at halftime, and they needed to come out and play a mature ball game, and they didn't, to be honest with you. And I think that's the inexperience coming through there. Nobody stepped forward to take charge and lead the team to the victory they needed to have. They're averaging 85 points a game, and they're only scoring 62 here, so they're way below their offensive average, and my opinion is they just have not run their offense very well.
And I think the difference that we may or may not be saying is that Robin Scott very well could have been an impact on this game.
I don't have any free throw shooting statistics for Bellarmine, so I'm not sure here who the one to foul was. They're going to send number 15, Donna Kale, to the line, Kaylin to the line, and I just don't know what kind of free throw shooter she is.
As you see it on your TV screen there just a second ago, 19 seconds remaining. IPFW down by 3. Kaylin at the line. And that's a critical free throw, making it a 4-point ball club. That'll just about cinch it, won't it, Dan?
I think it will, Bobby. I think it's going to be very difficult for IPFW. Certainly things can happen, a 3-point attempt that goes in and a foul, but it's going to make it very difficult. They need to get the ball down quickly, score a basket, and I believe they've got timeouts left, so they could still
and there's
call a
Guess
timeout.
From the outside. That's 3. Timeout. Just as we speak, it's a 1-point ball club. 1-point ball game, excuse me. Getting a little exciting action here.
Well, it's 66-65 Bellarmine. They have the ball underneath IPFW's basket. IPFW has to decide how they want to play this. I'm not sure how many timeouts they have available. Do you foul at this point? Do you try to play tough defense, get a 5-second call on the inbounds play? They've got a couple options, but they don't have very many things that they can choose to do wrong. That's the situation. With 10 seconds, what they decide to do has to be the right choice.
That's what I was going to ask you. If they don't get the 5-second count, who do you foul?
Well,
we don't have, like you said earlier, we don't have the free throw statistics on Bellarmine, but I think if there's a freshman out there, I think that would be the person that you'd foul. But
I'm sure that Terry Rosinski and Bill Carter on the bench there do know who they want to go to that free throw line. But even that's going to be very difficult, Bobby, because and they did it right there, so it's possible. It's going to be difficult to get the rebound off of a missed free throw, get the ball down, and get a good shot. We've seen it happen, so it's very possible, but it's a difficult thing to ask for. They need to get the ball here, in my opinion.
Here we saw an excellent shot. This could be trouble if this goes out of bounds.
She did. I thought she touched the ball, Bobby. I really believe it should go out at the other end, but they're going to call it that she didn't touch it, so IPFW is going to get the ball underneath their basket with a very
10 seconds
situation.
remaining. That was a costly turnover, and that could very well swing the tide of victory into IPFW's hands. With 10 seconds remaining, down by 1. Judy Guess with the ball to Lisa Miller, who's guarded by into Turner with 4 seconds. 3, 2. Unbelievable. Simply unbelievable. 2 seconds remaining. IPFW with a 1-point lead, 67-66. I can't believe it, Dan. We were just writing these folks out just not 30 seconds ago, and they're looking like they're going to come away with a huge victory here at the Athletic Center.
Well, I think we said it. 32 seconds left in the game. They were down by 7, and we thought they were pretty much out of the game. And Judy Guess hit 2 3-point shots. They were able to play strong defensively and that out-of-bounds play underneath the basket. That key official call there. Again, I'm not sure that was the right call, but we'll certainly take it in this situation and get the ball underneath our basket. There are 2 seconds left. I believe they've got to put some kind of pressure on Bellarmine. They cannot let them throw the ball up to half court.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Got to pressure him for 2 seconds. I think the crowd's going to help. That's got to be an emotional high. What a great victory for Terry Rosinski and the Lady Dons to come away with this game.
And there you saw it on the replay. Excellent offensive execution by the Lady Dons.
And they didn't hurry themselves. That was important. They had 8 seconds, but they did not hurry themselves. They took their time and got the shot that they needed. Also cannot afford to foul here. They need to be very careful that they do not foul.
2 seconds remaining. One as she stepped on the end line. And that's the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. IPFW coming with an incredible come from behind win, 67-66, with an impossible miracle finish, beating the Bellarmine Bells, who dropped to 6-2. IPFW jumped up their record to 3-4, and this has got to be an incredible building victory for the confidence of these Lady Dons.
Well, they did it without Robin Scott, as we mentioned, who was suspended for tonight's game due to undisclosed disciplinary reasons, and they dug themselves a deep hole, Bobby, there with 32 seconds down by 7 points. They were able to be mature about it and come back and win this ball game. Very, very important. We mentioned it earlier. They've got to win these games at home. They cannot afford to lose these games if they have any hope of staying in the conference race.
That's incredible intestinal fortitude to come back. We had them written off. I'll be honest, I didn't think there was a ghost of a chance. But IPFW, with incredible shooting by Judy Guess, and of course a key critical turnover at the end of the ball game, really, Justy's got to be very unhappy with the execution. I thought they had the numbers on that inbound pass, but it just comes down to the last mistake, and IPFW able to capitalize it. What more can you say? An incredible win, 67-66, and that's just the first game of a 2-game doubleheader here at the IPFW Athletic Center. Well, that was just the women's game, and now fairly soon here at 7:30, we're going to give you the full broadcast of the men's game. We're going to see once again that the replay, as I'm assured by our technical staff, somewhere along the line. Once again, I'm Bob Kramer. This is Dan Gebhardt here for Channel 23 Sports, your IPFW College Connection.
There's the replay here.
There we go. Out to Miller. Entry pass into Turner. An excellent job. A key clutch pressure. Call it what you will. But a nice job by Sarah Turner, who had been running into frustration the entire second half and most of the first half, coming up with a key basket to secure the win for IPFW.
That's a big win, Bobby. That's very imperative that they won that ball game. They did the things they needed to do as far as playing emotionally strong at the end. Let's go over some unofficial statistics I have here. For the victorious Lady Dons with 67 points, Nancy Turner had 2 points. Judy Guess had 8 with 2 key 3-point shots there in the last 30 seconds of that
Saving
game.
the Lady Dons. You've got to say that.
Don Harbaugh played a very good game. She did not score any points, but she did some things defensively and helped run the offensive team. Tina Merrill, not a very proficient scorer tonight, with 6, and that's way below her average. She's averaging 15.4. Amy Newhauser played just a super game for a freshman. Our freshmen are really playing well. Amy finished with 14 points, ran the offense, and was sorely missed when she wasn't in there. Lisa Miller, another fine ball game with 21 points, well above her average. Stacy Leatherwood with 2. Shelly Sands came in and played a key role, did not score. Sarah Turner with 12, 2 of the biggest ones right there at the very end with 2 seconds left in the ball game. And Jennifer Needhammer scored 2 for a total of 67 points. So the Dons were led by Lisa Miller with 21, Amy Newhauser with 14, and Sarah Turner with 12. For the Bellarmine Bells with 66 points, they were led in scoring by Stephanie Tracy with 21. But what's amazing about that is she had 14 at halftime, so the Lady Dons held her to 7 in the second half, Bobby. Stephanie Duddy had 1. Michelle Carl had 4. Donna Caitlin played a very, very solid ball game with 11, right at her average. Shannon Miles scored 10. Missy Hahn scored 13 with some key free throws. Angie McClone had 2, and Connie Carroll had 2. So they were the Bells were led with 66 points total by Stephanie Tracy with 21, and Missy Hahn with 13, and Donna Caitlin with 11.
I think the key thing that we have to mention also is that it was a team victory. No one Lady Don can be attributed to this victory. It was a team victory. They all had to pull together and come from behind to scrape this one out. There's not a whole lot we can say more than what you've seen here, ladies and gentlemen. An incredible victory for the Lady Dons, and Terry Brzezinski has got to be happy with the way her program is shaping up and what she's done, turning this program away, turning it around from what was a dismal program 2 or 3 years ago. So we're 23 minutes away from the start of the men's game. As you see on the floor here, as we turn over from the broadcast booth, Bellarmine and the Mastodons starting to warm up. We'll have that game at 7:30 for you. And we're going to wrap it up here at the IPFW Athletic Center once again. We'll be here live here on Channel 23 Sports, bringing you the game at approximately 7:30. For IPFW Sports Channel 23, I'm Bob Kramer and Dan Kebhart. We'll see you in a little bit, folks.